Hey guys, welcome to the channel. So today I'm joined by someone very, very special. Someone who is in the tech world, who's doing big things, who's doing amazing things, in fact. Um, and he's someone with many talents, not just in coding, but also in fashion, also in gaming and sports. We'll hear more about him right now. Scott, how are you, my guy?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you? Good to be here.
I'm all good. I'm all good. Man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, so can you tell us who is Scott?
Scott. Scott is I born and bred in Jersey, the East End,
Yeah.
and always been a guy that is into like streetwear, but at the same time was a nerd at home, dealing with computers, trying to
Hmm.
use the Fruity Loops, and also
Oh,
yeah, I was horrible with it. Trying to hack, struggled. Uh, then that's when I started learning how to code at the age of 13. And ever since, yeah, I've been coding. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. What's got for you?
oh, okay. So from a very young age, I would take it that you have been very what's it called? You have been wanting to know things, you were curious about learning new things, like what is this, what is that.
Yeah,
um I hear you talking about Fruity Loops. So you were making beats, like is it hip hop or what were you doing
I
exactly?
was trying to make house, um, but I realized that I didn't have the ear, But I had a mate of mine that actually humbled me.
Yeah.
That used to be so good with Fruit Loops.
Mm.
And seeing him, I was like, okay, maybe this is not my thing. Sometimes you need people that are like so high
Yeah.
in any field so that you can realize maybe I don't know if I can do this. And that. So he was one of those guys. And I'm just gonna stick to code. If
Yeah. Oh, okay, okay, okay. I feel you. So, tell me about the name Umfana Wase Korea. What
I,
does that? What name come from?
found out in Korea, it's my street name, all the way from Bramfontein, because I used to like wear a lot of
Hmm.
clothes where I used to be a fashion dude. Before coding, also I was
Yeah.
a runway model. So that's where I got the name Umfana Sekore
Hmm.
into my fashion style.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm. So in 2022, correct me if I'm wrong. In 2022, you joined Viral Nation.
Yes, yes. How do you know that?
Hmm.
Oh, it's great.
Digital footprint.
Oh my days. That is wild. Yeah, George Varro. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I joined Varro.
Mm,
And geez,
yeah.
then I did one with this brand. They were actually, funny enough, it was an app campaign where they were trying to push an application, small like music before TikTok. They wanted to be like the next Musically competitor.
Oh, okay.
And I did one
Hmm.
days when my Instagram was still like big compared to now. So yeah.
Yes, yes. Oh, okay, okay. So after doing that, were you already introduced to the coding world, or is it before you got into coding?
Before. No, no, no. I was already in the coding space, but I was coding, but not as much as I I'm involved in the industry now. I was just like doing some basic projects, like just basic systems, the to-do list,
Hmm.
the basic website pages, the landing page.
Hmm.
Yeah, pretty much it. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so you learned coding on your own, and then did you go to any school, like maybe college or university, or like to further your studies on coding?
Yeah, yeah. I By then I was already, and this is gonna sound so sus, but I was already like
Hmm.
coding when I went to uni. I was like, went to a point whereby I wanted to just get the certificate. Because I was already
Yeah, yeah.
then with uni also
Hmm.
there was some, I would say some outdated information even now, which is something I always talk
Yeah.
about. You look at, because I did uni and I also juggled on boot camp when I didn't find any job. That's why I joined Mursi. And you look at the boot camps,
Oh,
you look at the boot camps now, and you also look at the uni. The information is like totally different. Some boot camps are so far ahead compared to some other universities,
hmm.
which is mind-boggling, especially in this
Hmm.
time. So yeah, I did that, and I also
Hmm.
joined the Muzi in 20. I'm not sure, 2020 or 19. I joined Umuzi
Hmm.
and I became a tech lead there. And then after Umuzi, my stuff started just skyrocketing.
Wow. Okay, okay. So when did this entrepreneurial spirit come in for you to actually start, or what drove you to build apps such as the one that you built, Bite Size? What is that app all about? Was it your first app, or is it an app that has already, like you've already built apps before the Bite Size, or what is that all about?
Yeah, funny enough, Bite Size is my second app. Cuddles was my first, and yeah, because
Oh.
I wasn't that into. I was a web developer before being um, an app developer, and I did it for a long time. I did web development for a long time for big companies too, and it got into a point whereby when you start as a junior, then you go and you get to a point whereby you sit in meetings and you hear what is being discussed before the project launches, and you hear the figures that they talk about right in your face to
Hmm.
at what you're gonna get by the end of the month compared to what this project costed and the amount of effort that you're gonna put in. I was like,
Hmm.
I just wanna do my own thing uh, and start building my own stuff because it's insane
Hmm.
money that you can give certain people. You just get a thanks and the pizza. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Hmm. So how has this journey been for you? Are you building these apps alone, or do you have a team that you work with?
one man, one man. I'm a true definition of an indie dev. Because professionally, I'm a backend developer. So by default,
Hmm.
CSS is not my cup of tea. I'm not great with CSS.
Yeah.
Front end,
Yeah.
yeah, I could stay in a just building a site. I could spend hours deciding what layer needs to be what, needs to be what color, and I didn't do that. I did backend, so I had to start from scratch.
Hmm.
learning design curtains. Lucky enough, I also had like
Yeah.
boot camp experience compared to uni experience, I would say, where they tell you about
Hmm.
these design curtains when it comes to like CSS and so UX UI. Then yeah, so from UX UI, from planning
Hmm.
UX UI to backend architecture to development, all the way to marketing. Pretty much all day. It's not sounds like
Okay.
sounds
I see.
I'm smart, but no, I'm not. I'm just lost.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. So, in terms of marketing, how has social media played a role for you? Because you can build a product, but without any people to actually use that product, then it's not gonna work out. So, in terms of marketing, how have you been marketing your products?
That is like actually a good question because I hear a lot of people like I have this idea and I'm like, okay, cool, you have this great idea, but not force people to use your idea, your system or your app. They should be the one that like, you know what, this
Mm,
is a pain point. I want this to be fixed, or I want this to help me in this way. So with Cuddles, funny enough, I only use TikTok and not insanely. I didn't
mm,
bootstrap it a lot. It went to a point where I just spoke about it. First video, I'm like, yeah, this is what I'm launching, and this is how it's gonna go. But we'll speak more on Cuddles, and then after that, I learned the difference between how you market an application compared to how you market like a website. It's
mm.
not really marketing, it's actually like how to get organic users without ads. So I had to learn ASO compared to SEOs. Pretty much ASOs like SEOs, but for apps.
Mm.
And most of my apps, I don't do a lot of marketing. It's just me talking about it, and because it solves certain issues that people actually go and search. And yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. So that's very interesting because talking to people can take you very far. You don't really have to force them to buy it. You just show them the problem that you are solving, such as the Cuddles app. So, in terms of the Cuddles app, what sparked that idea for you? Like, okay, let me create an app for people to like cuddle, and like, also, how does it work?
So with cuddles, I believe everyone deserves a cuddle, whether you are in a relationship or not. Everyone deserves to interact with someone and they just like vent it out, meeting someone and just speak your truth without any judgment because sometimes we fear to just vent out because this person knows this certain things about you. But sometimes you just need someone that
Mm.
can say whatever. So I noticed on which came up with this idea is that I noticed on in Japan they pay man pay woman just to go to a store and sit with them and just talk. People literally pay people to do
Hmm.
that. And I was like, huh? There's no way. And I was like, you know what? Let me create an app where you could look for cuddle nearby, or it could be a cuddle app, but also
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm gonna focus it on as like a dating app, but slash cuddles, where you can go around and look for cuddles, and yeah, pretty much it. And yeah, so far it's been.
Hmm. Hmm. So, in terms of finances, I take it you don't spend any money on designing because, like you said, you do this thing on yourself or like on your own, right? So, in terms of marketing, also you are using organic marketing strategies. So in terms, because you know how expensive it is for someone to try and build an app, you if you go and consult with people, and you try to find out how much they'll charge you, they'll tell you 50K, for a simple app. So how important is it for you, or for any entrepreneur, to have coding skills?
Can't stress this enough, man. Especially this year alone, I think, there was a bubble.com in the early 2000s. I think it's happening right now in real time, especially when it comes to app development, uh, AI, and people definitely need to jump on. And yeah, I haven't been spending, I literally spent zero, mainly because I have the coding in,
Hmm.
background when it comes to apps. Besides apps, like if you can build a website, you definitely can build an application. That's literally it. If you can code, you can pretty much build anything. So there's no, but I always tell people,
That's true.
if you want to build an app, you need to start with the web development, because all the information
Mm.
that you're gonna get there, you probably it's more of like you are full stacking now with app development.
Mhm.
You're doing it alone. But it's pretty much the same. It's just like different systems. I'll put it that way. In an easiest example,
Mm.
I would say it's like WordPress and Google, but you're still using the same knowledge.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm. So, in terms of your tech stack, right? What do you like? What is your go-to tech stack that you usually use to build these apps?
Yeah, so my go-to is React Native. Um, reason why I use React
Mhm.
Native is I can build an iOS app, and I can also build um, an Android application
Android.
instead of using like
Mm.
Swift or so. I can just like
Mm.
build. So I use React Native for my main stack, and Expo. Expo is the one that
Mm.
you build on top of it, and when you build on top of Expo, it's the one that distributes the application. Not one application, but becomes iOS, becomes um, Android. Then with my backend, I mean, I like JS. I like JS a lot. So if in my backend I use
Yeah, yeah.
Node, I use Express. Um,
Mm.
when I feel like it, sometimes I use Postgres. But in my mind, I want to ship fast, launch, and continue. Then if it gets to a point whereby the application is getting big, then I can upscale with other backends. But mainly I use Express, MongoDB is my go-to. Um, so that's my backend most of the time. Uh, yeah,
Mm.
on basic normal CSS. This is the hardest part. Out of all the things that I've mentioned, for me, the front end is like hardest part. That's where
CSS is the problem. I agree with you on that one. CSS is the problem.
that's where I take. So instead of launching in a month, I could launch in 2 months because of designs. But yeah, that's
Because of CSS. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And they said Tailwind is makes things simpler. I don't think so. If you don't know CSS, then you
yeah,
definitely will
don't,
not understand Tailwind at
don't,
all.
don't. Because
Mm.
Tailwind, you need to also like code in a certain version of Tailwind. If you don't, there's some issues with packages. Now you're dealing with packages. Just don't.
Yeah.
CSS, you're going to learn a lot.
You will spend the whole day trying to solve the Tailwind packages.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So rather do it CSS, learn Flexbox. It's gonna be worth it.
yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, you know, in today's market, it's very hard for someone to land a role because of the quote unquote AI that's going around these days. You know? What's your take on that? Do you think AI is really taking these people's roles, or the job market is bad because of AI, or is it something else?
I think the job market is, I would say it's horrible for everyone. I think it's not mainly AI. Um,
Mm,
it's been hectic. It used to be so easy to get a job. You literally, recruiters would fight for you, you know? Uh,
mm,
but now I think there's more into it besides AI. But with AI is going to take over someone's job that is for a person that is not being adapted to AI. You need to use
mm,
AI. There's certain things that you don't have to do anymore. You can't be dealing with a bug
mm.
for 8 hours. I mean, don't depend on AI for the first go, but you need to utilize it. And I utilize it a lot. Pushes me to continue launching faster, testing markets. And yeah, they say it's taking over juniors. I don't think it's there yet. Um, a lot of people are calling it
Mm.
vibe coding or so. I don't think it's there. It's nice to use AI to code, but there's certain stuff where it comes to debugging, it's still failing like no one's business.
Mm.
So you'll be humble.
Yeah, that's so true. That is so true. So, if you were not into tech, right, what would you be doing? What other options did you have in mind besides tech? Would you be a doctor? Would you be
I
a
had
massage therapist?
I had two options. I actually had three. It's either I'd work at the zoo, crazy enough, because I love animals.
Zoo.
Yeah,
Okay.
I love animals,
Oh, okay.
and or be a lawyer or be a doctor. Um,
Hmm.
I definitely wanted something stable. I definitely wouldn't be,
Hmm.
I don't know, art or fashion or so. I'm trying to
Yeah.
poverty, and I can't find poverty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said I wanted something stable, and lucky enough, I fell in love.
Hmm. Hmm. So coding was the one for you. Coding was the savior for you.
It was. I watched. I used to code, but after watching this series, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna push coding like no one's business because I did a lot of things actually before. In the
Yeah.
coding phase, I did a lot of.
Hmm.
I'm also a certified HVAC technician, so I can literally yeah put on a whole aircon in your house, aircon system, vent, electrical boards.
Hmm.
It's pretty much certified on that. But then after watching that series, I was like, I'm not, I'm just gonna stick to coding. It was the person of interest. You used to pay an essay to say person of interest. Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Okay, I see. I see. So now, currently, are you working in any organization? If not, are you looking forward, or are you aiming to get your apps to retire you, like your bite size and your cuddles?
Yeah, so I'm currently still working for a company, sad enough. But um,
Hmm.
I think this year I'm planning to leave it like totally um, and pretty much focus on app development because one, Cuddle is pretty much paying for my expenses. Um, and I think with bite size, getting it to where it needs to be, and 8 more apps that I want to launch, hopefully by the end of this year, um, I should like stop working for some.
Hmm. I see. I see. I like that. I like that. So, in terms of those who are trying to get into jobs, right? Just quick, because I see we have like 5 minutes left. So, in terms of those who are trying to get new jobs, how important are data structures and algorithms for interviews?
It's so important, man. You you'll find them everywhere. You'll find them everywhere. You need to
Hmm.
learn how to. There's this thing that I used to train in. I think it was a free code camp. Um,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
like you, how you need to learn, you need to know them everywhere. Like there's certain places where they no longer do like live interviews because people become anxious or so. They just give you like a project that you need to work on, but you still need to come back and explain that
Hmm.
project. But if you know data
Hmm.
structures,
Hmm.
out, you are far ahead from everyone else. Even in your thinking, how you code doesn't even help you on interviews alone. But
Hmm.
how you think about where to start. At first line of code, you already know where and how this function is to. So it's very important. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, it helped me a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
And especially if you also want to jump into app development or be a solo app developer. Number one, you're pushing your own PRs.
Hmm.
You're approving your own PRs. So no one is
Hmm.
approving yourself. And number two is people that have
Hmm.
subscribed to your system. So they trust you, your
Hmm.
backend, how you've structured your backend. It needs to work efficiently, and you owe that to them.
Hmm.
So it's so important.
Hmm. I see. I see. So, what's the way forward now? What's coming up for Scott in this future? What are you looking up for?
Um, I'm launching another app soon. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I'm working with a close friend of mine. He's a teacher, and this one is pretty much gonna help
Hmm.
kids that are trying to learn how to study in an easy way. Um, and can't say much to it now, but then I actually, this thing of saying I can't say much to it now, like people are gonna steal your idea. It's not gonna work. People are gonna steal whether you like it or not. If you launch that thing, it becomes public.
It's true.
So yeah, we're pretty much working on an exam question app where you can pretty much put all the exams, previous exams questions, and when
Hmm.
you are studying for a certain topic, you just search that topic, and the application is going to show you all the questions that are related to the topic that you study based on the exam question papers.
Hmm.
So it's currently what we're working on. And yeah, I'm excited. There's
Hmm.
more ideas that I want to jump into. The plan this year is to launch at least close to 10 applications that can make me uh, relax as well with my vision.
Yes, yeah, yeah. So in your day, okay, you wake up in the morning, you go to work, you come back, and like what how's your work life balance looking like?
So I work from home, and how my day looks like, I wake up, go straight to the ocean for a quick dip, um, go to
Hmm.
the gym, come back, and when it's around like 7 or so, it depends also on the day. Sometimes I wouldn't even go to the gym or whatsoever. I'd start coding at 5 a.m.
Hmm.
until 10 p.m. I'm still on the laptop. So my day is not super structured. It depends on what I need to work on. And if I don't have anything else, I'm
Yeah.
pretty much chill. But I've learned to balance that.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, okay. So where can people follow you? On Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, what are your handles?
It's pretty much just go to Guy Tumblr on Instagram, then just go to makofane on TikTok. Pretty just go to Guy Tumblr on TikTok too. Then on Threads, that's where I
Hmm.
post about my apps, the amount of revenue it's currently making, features. Um, yeah, that's what
Hmm.
you can actually find.
Okay. And your apps, they are all live on App Store and Play Store?
So, Cuddles is currently still on Android. I'm having issues with iOS. Then Bite Size, it's on iOS. Um, and yeah, the next one is also going to be on iOS. So, because yeah, it was hard. I'd say it was
So,
less to host on Android. It's another lesson to learn
mm,
on iOS. So yeah, it's just too much work.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, guys. So you heard it here first from Scott. Thank you, Scott, for joining me today. You are my very first guest, and I'm looking forward to doing more collaborations with you. Maybe next time we can do some coding challenges.
Yeah,
Something fun.
some live coding because I always see your TikTok. What is he teaching now?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. All right, man. Thanks, man. Thanks for joining in today.
Thank you, thank you, thanks everyone.
All right.